Hi guys, I'm Jordan from P&P Campers. I'm just going to do your handover video on your Trigano Tribute. So on the left hand side under the bonnet here we've got your engine battery. So you've got negative on this side, positive at the back. Brake fluid attached to the servo just down there at the top of the engine. Power steering fluid sits in this reservoir just here at the front. Engine oil goes in through this cap just here at the top, and your engine oil dipstick is this red topped pulley just there. So behind this and under here are fuses and relays for the Fiat side of things, so you don't have to worry about any of that. Engine coolant sits up here in this reservoir just like that, so that's that kind of dark looking fluid. Air filter sits inside here, and your washer fluid gets topped up through there. So that's that. Your diesel filling cap is just this one just here, and you will need your ignition key to go in there to open that up. You open that just by pushing on this side of it. Not really much to show on the passenger door. You've got obviously your electric window there. That's about it really. I mean, you've got a couple of bits in here. You can actually lock this with the ignition key if you wanted to. If you wanted to put something in there. Your step comes out via this button just inside the sliding door just here. So it goes in like that. Press it again. It comes out. Got a little cupboard just here. This is just storage inside here. And yeah, so that's that for that. Your wastewater drain, you literally just need to pull on this lever just here, and that'll drain out all your wastewater. Behind the sliding door, you get access to your toilet cassette locker. So if I just open that up a sec. So you've got a freshwater flush in here. So what that means is you don't have to fill up any separate flush fluid or anything like that. It all just comes from the freshwater tank. To actually take this out, you lift up on the little yellow lever and then pull it out towards you, and then you can take that all the way out. The only thing to really point out is that you empty it out from this side. Obviously you just turn this around and then empty it out from here. But when it's actually emptying out, you need to hold this little yellow button down, which is like a pressure release valve. All of this has been lubricated as part of the hab check, and that just literally goes back in all the way like that. At the very back of the van, you've got your awning winder just there, and more importantly your gas locker. So you've got space in here for two of these 6 kilo bottles if you wanted them. You've got a bulkhead regulator, so you don't have to worry about any of that over there. That's just for our testing really. But basically turning the bottle on is anti-clockwise around to the left, turning it off it's clockwise around to the right. I'm going to leave it on for the minute just so I can show you a couple of bits working. You need to make sure that you have this off before you start driving. You absolutely cannot drive with the gas on. Well, you can, but you definitely shouldn't. Just to point that out. These two vents just here are your fridge vents. So if you had your fridge lit up on gas, you'd be able to feel hot air coming out through the top of this vent just here. Hookup. So if you had a hookup cable available to you, hookup will go in there, and that'll give you access to using all of your 240 volt appliances and plug sockets. So that's your 3-pin sockets. You've then got your boiler vent down here. So if you had your hot water on, your boiler, which I'll show you on the inside, you'll be able to feel hot air coming out through that. And then you've also got your freshwater inlet. Get the key out. So to actually fill up the fresh tank, you literally just undo this cap just here. You've got a little rubber seal around that, and you fill up your water just from there, like that. So I just have a little look in the cab. So not a huge amount to show you in the cab, to be honest. It's a 5-speed manual gearbox. Reverse is lift up here, over and up to the top left. Hazard lights just here in the middle. You've got a single DIN JVC head unit up here. So it says on there you've got aux, CD, a couple of nice little bits and pieces on there. So that's pretty modern. Heated rear window, that won't work because the original rear windows aren't on the van, obviously, because it's been converted into a motorhome. Fan settings just down here, so you've got your fan speed setting, temperature, and the actual fan settings of where the air goes to. And you've also got drawing air in from outside and a recirculate function as well. Lights, so side lights, main beam on the left hand stalk as well as your indicators. And you've also got your washers and wipers on the right. Electric adjusting mirrors, so you literally just choose which mirror you want to move from there and then just move this like a little joystick depending on where you want to move the mirrors to. And obviously your electric adjusting windows just there. Okay, so I think that's it for the cab and all the outside. If I just point out to you quickly, just behind the driver's seat just there is your, well, first off, your fire extinguisher's there, which is, you know, it's handy to know that it's there. And you've also got your little fuse board just there. So there's a little symbol next to each and every one of those. They all do something specific. And so if you find you have an issue with anything specifically, obviously you can let us know and we'll sort it out for you. But if you wanted to have if you were on holiday, for example, and your steps stopped working, you'd be looking at that first, or the bottom 10 amp one there, because that's got your step symbol next to it. Or if the pump stopped working, the one just above that, the middle 10 amp one, you just have a little check of that and make sure that they're all good and not broken on the inside. So first thing to show you really inside the van is probably this, best to do here. This is your sort of control panel. So there's not really a main on and off switch as such with this. So if I just show you, I'll turn these two off. There, like that, is pretty much completely turned off. There's not really anything happening now. So if I wanted to turn the lights on, press that button just there. So that's all your internal lights. If you have a awning light, that button there will make that work. And this one here is obviously your water pump switch. So basically, if you want to come into the van and start using things, usually it's just this one and this one. So internal lights and pump. All right. Because you've got a van that works with a normal pump, so a pressurized water pump, you need to do that. It's really important that you do that first. All right. Switch your pump switch on. If you haven't used the van for a little while, the pump may start running when you press that button, and that's completely normal. The reason that would happen is a couple of reasons. If you haven't got any water in your freshwater tank, which, by the way, I will show you how to check in a minute on that control panel. If you have no water in that, then obviously the pump will run because it won't be able to get to any pressure. Another reason would be that you've drained out your water from your boiler from this little yellow lever just here. So you see there it's in its horizontal position at the moment, laying flat. Now what that means is that the boiler will accept water and it won't drain anything out from underneath. If I lifted that into its vertical position, so lifted it up, then basically it'll just drop all the water out from the boiler. The reason you'd want to do that is if it's going to get really, really cold in here, like sort of nearly the minus degrees, then you need to drain your boiler out if you're not going to be using it. That saves anything expanding and freezing inside the boiler and basically just bursting it, cracking pipes and things like that. So that's really important to know. You've also got next to that, just here, this black little turny dial. If you want to drain your fresh water out, you turn that so it's facing the pipe, so just turn it 90 degrees and that'll drain your fresh water out. So that's there. Right, so yeah, pump on. Make sure that your boiler drain is in its flat position, horizontal, and then come over to your sink and just do what I do now. So just pull the tap, just making sure that one, the pump turns itself on, which I can hear at the moment, and also that the water comes through nice and clearly like that. There's no sort of big bubbles of air or anything like that. Nothing nasty coming out of it at all. All right. You can then do your cold side as well. and I'm happy now. If I switch this off and the pump stops after a couple of seconds, there you go. That's completely perfect. That's a really, really nice pressurized system. So you have to do that. You absolutely have to do that. If you want to start using your boiler and heating the water up, pump switch on, check that your drain is in the flat position, check the water's at pressure, turn it off. All right. Until you've done that, there's no way of knowing that your boiler's got any water in it at all. And if you try and light the boiler up with no water in it, you'll run into other issues like burning it out. Random sort of pipes and things like that might start to burn out because they get too hot and things like that. All right, so that's how your boiler works. If you want to check how much water or how much power is in your batteries and things like that, this test button over here is really handy. So if you press this once, this little light up here comes on. So that's telling you that your habitation battery is here. So full power in the hab battery. And it's also showing your fresh water level. So this is hab and fresh water. So full power in the battery and empty in the tank. So full power in the hab battery and empty in the fresh tank. If I press it and then press it again, it tells you that you've got 2/3 power in your engine battery and nothing in the waste tank. All right, so I can switch between the two. Habitation battery, leisure battery and fresh water, engine battery and wastewater. And so it's battery and water level. If your wastewater was desperate to be emptied, this little light up here would come on. And also if you had your hookup plugged in, this light here would come on. So just on that point as well, it's really handy if you can do one of these two things as often as you can. If you have access to a hookup cable, it's really handy to actually plug it in and make sure that your batteries are all topped up, at least every once in a while. I mean, to be fair, on this particular van, you have got this solar controller up here as well. So you have got solar panels that will be keeping your battery sort of a little bit topped up. But if you can either plug it in on hookup or take it for a nice long drive every once in a while, you shouldn't run into any issues with batteries draining and things like that. If you can't, it's not really the end of the world. But like I said, you've got the solar panel. But it is always best to have a little bit of proper charge going into it. Okay, so the boiler is really, really, really simple. The boiler only works on gas. There's no electric or anything else way of using the boiler. So it's all down here on this one switch. And if you wanted to heat the water up to 50 degrees, I would put it up. And then after a few seconds, the boiler will light up. If I wanted to heat the water up to 70 degrees instead, I'd go off into the middle and down. It'll light back up. And then when it gets to 70 degrees inside the boiler, it'll switch itself off. Back to the middle for off, like that. All right, so that's the boiler. Like I said, that only works on gas. That's not because something's changed, that's just how they were built. You can get ones that use gas and electric, but this particular one is just gas only. You've also got, and the reason for that, by the way, and the reason why it's not a combi, it's just hot water, not heating from that boiler, is because you've got this heating over here, which the Triganos are sort of renowned for having this diesel heating. Main reason really, I mean the actual reason why they've gone about only using gas on the boiler and diesel heating is because it makes it a hell of a lot better for wild camping. So basically, if you have no access to any hookup cable at all, then diesel heating is fantastic, because obviously all you need is a little bit of power in your battery and diesel in your tank, in your fuel tank, and all you need is a little bit of gas in your bottle for the boiler. So it's if you're going to do lots of wild camping and stuff like that, it's amazing. If not, if you're on a campsite or even just leaving it at home, it's still great, because you can have your hookup in and do all the same stuff anyway. So heating, this is the most simple way. There's never been a more simple controller for anything ever, I don't think. So if you want to heat your van up, just turn this any way you like. If the green light comes on, the fan will start going, and after about 5 minutes, you'll have heating inside the van. It is as simple as that. And if you want to switch it off, all the way back round again, like that. So I'm not kidding you, that is literally, that's it. That's how easy the heating is. And the reason I've not spent much time on it is because when you try it yourself, you'll realise it really is that simple. Right, so the cooker, so you've got a 4-burner hob and a grill. All 4 and the grill have got this electric ignition. Like that. They've all got a little diagram. They're all a bit faded, so they are a bit awkward to see, but you will work out which one does which. This one just here, I believe, does the grill. Don't hold me to that. No, it doesn't. That's not true. Can probably work it out, but I can't quite see, to be honest. They all do one of the things, obviously. It's all pretty simple stuff. I mean, you've got a thermocouple on the back of each of these, which is this bit. And actually, every single gas appliance in this van has got a thermocouple. What a thermocouple does is it recognises burning gas, and so if you light any of these up, the grill, the fridge, the boiler, whatever, if the flame goes out without you turning it off, then the thermocouple will recognise that and it will stop the gas coming out after about sort of 10-15 seconds or so, just so that you can't sort of go too far wrong with the gas. You can't sort of fill the van up with unburnt gas or anything. So that's just like a safety precaution thing. Underneath here, you've got a couple of bits. You've got your RCD at the very back there, so if anything really nasty went into any of the plug sockets, that's where it would trip from. And let's just see what's under here. Isolator taps for your gas. So if you wanted to isolate any of the individual appliances, you can do so from there via the gas. In the wardrobe, let's have a look. Just storage in there. And what about down here? Okay, so that's just a vent there for your bathroom heater. Okay. Okay, so I'd normally know exactly where everything is, but I didn't do this particular one, so just trying to sort of get to grips with it myself. So your fridge is 3-way. It works 3 ways. So you've got gas, which is literally as simple as turning that dial there to the gas symbol and wait for it to light up. If there was a hookup cable plugged into the van, I would choose 230 volt personally. And basically what that does is it literally warms a little element up in the back, very, very similar to a household fridge, and then just cools the fridge down. And if your engine was running, you would choose 12 volt. So these fridges are all the same. It doesn't matter what size fridge you got. If it's a motorhome fridge, it will be like this. You have to get the fridge cold first, either via the gas or the hookup. The reason for that is the gas and the hookup will get the fridge cold on its own, and the 12 volt won't. So you get the fridge cold with all your stuff inside it already cold, and then when you get to sort of leaving, switch it over to your 12 volt, start the engine up, and then that will automatically start cooling it down as well. But like I said, it's not powerful enough on its own to actually cool the fridge down on its own. It already has to be cold, and the 12 volt basically just holds temperature. So yeah, that's how that works. But yeah, just pretty simple stuff. All right, so that's how that works. The bathroom, not really a huge amount to show you in here, but I'll just show you how the toilet works basically. Your sink is, again, I don't have to show you that because it's the same as the kitchen one, but it does also, I think, pull out to make the shower, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there you go. So you pull that all the way out to use it as a shower. Obviously the room is like a wet room, so you can get anything in here wet. That's why they sort of do that. But you have got this curtain just here, just to save anything getting too wet. The toilet, like I said to you outside, it's got a freshwater flush, so you haven't got to worry about topping up any flush fluid or anything like that. You basically just press the button and then the pump will spray the water around. And then you need to drain it out just by here. Open, close. And that's that. So I think that's basically everything I need to show you. But if there's anything else, then just let us know. But otherwise, I look forward to seeing you soon to collect your van.